Hello everyone, Namaste, Vanakkam, Sat Sri Akal to everyone. Welcome to Quiz Whiz. I'm Priyadarshan here, your host, your quiz master. So I hope you had an amazing time with yesterday's video, and I hope I get the same love and response for today's video as well. So I will be telling you the answers, and I will be moving on to our five questions for today as well. But don't worry, we'll get to that in a bit. I have been thinking that before every video, why not we talk about something else and then get to this, this intense mode of quizzing. Though I try to keep a balance between the questions, like some fun, some tough, some business, some sports. So I'm still waiting to hear back from y'all regarding that. So, what topic can we talk about today, or just hit upon today? So, yesterday I was talking about the IPL. So, I think many of you must be knowing that quite a lot of the staff members of the IPL have been of Chennai Super Kings team have been tested positive. So, the team is currently under quarantine. So, let's hope for the best because that is one of the most famous franchises and one of the franchises which everyone wants to see play. I'm sorry, I can't share that emotion because I'm a KKR fan. The reason might be weird, but I love the players, Andrew Russell, Sunil Narain. But I really like it for one simple reason is I'm a die-hard Shah Rukh Khan fan and I love the way his business mind works. So he has invested in the right place, I do feel. And I feel their jersey by far has been the best. But that's obviously open to debate. So on this note, I guess we can start off with yesterday's five answers. So our first question for yesterday, only an 8 weeks undergraduate trained he had got only 8 weeks undergraduate training in this particular subject and he has never sat for an examination for the same. He wrote a book called The General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money. So who was the economist we were talking about? So it's pretty simple. I think many of you got it. The answer we're looking for is John Maynard Keynes. So that was our first question for yesterday. Moving on to our second question. It is derived from the German word for water and the Greek word for olive oil. So what product are we talking about? So the answer is actually Vaseline. So Vaseline was made by Cheesebro Manufacturing Company and Vaseline, that's how it gets its name. Now moving on to our third question for yesterday. He had government contracts to supply clothing to dry goods to many state prisons, including California, Folsom, Sacramento. Um, but the most interesting of these contracts was awarded to this company in 1898 as the new supplier of the striped twill fabric for convict suits. So name the person or the entity. So we all know them maybe from the world of jeans. So who we are talking about, or the company that we're talking about, is Levi Strauss. So that was our third question for yesterday. Moving on to our fourth question for yesterday, I had asked you to connect Murugavel, Janaki Raman, MS Dhoni, and R. Madhavan. So the connect that we were looking for was Bharat Matrimony. So Murugavel, Janaki Raman being the owner or the founder of the company, MS Dhoni and R. Madhavan are the brand ambassadors for the same. And now for our last question for yesterday. The original format of this tournament was a three-team triangular tournament involving England and two other visiting sides. But later on, they changed it to only a two-team tournament where England was one of the teams. So, what are we talking about? Which tournament are we talking about, or which series were we talking about? So, the answer is the Nat West series. So, those were our five questions for yesterday. Moving on to our five questions for today. So, here's number one. As per the Treaty of Amritsar of 1846, Raja Gulab Singh of Jammu had to acknowledge the supremacy of the British government by annually presenting to it one horse, 12 goats of approved breed, and three pairs of what item of clothing. So, what item of clothing? That's what is the answer. That's what we're looking for. And now let's move on to question number two. This evergreen character was a response to Target magazine's Detective Moochwala. This character was also partly based on the 50s sitcom I Love Lucy. So I want you to tell me the name of this character. Moving on to our third question for today. The Baniyas are an occupational community of bankers and merchants. Long ago, a few of that community started selling perfumes and scented products and eventually came to be known with a particular surname. Which famous Indian surname are we talking about? And now for our fourth and second last question for today. According to Motion Picture Association of America, these highly condensed series of movie shots cannot exceed 2.5 minutes, usually start with a green and a red band, and include rating cards. The name comes from the fact that they were originally shown at the end of a feature film screening. What film term are we talking about? And now, for the last question for us today, so here we go. As per historical records, Noor Jahan created this food item by mixing sweetened milk and an array of fruit pulps with crushed ice imported from the Himalayan lakes. With time, the recipe has seen a lot of change. Identify this food item, which is found even today in almost every nook and corner of India. So for the Indians out here, you should know it. For anyone who's watching it from abroad, if you have visited India even once, I think you would have tried this dish or you would have heard of it at least. So these were our 5 questions for today. I hope you enjoyed the answers. I hope some of them were surprising. Some of them were like, I knew this. So good quizzing, and I hope to see a lot of answers. Do not forget to drop your answers in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I couldn't say that enough. I've been receiving a lot of love and support from all of you. I'm almost on the verge of reaching 150 subscribers, which is a good start because that's the way I want to look at it. So please let the love continue, let the quizzing continue, and let the intrigue continue. On this note, I'll take your leave today. We'll see you again tomorrow with 5 more answers and 5 more questions. Till then, please stay safe, take care, and good night.